What's up, guys? Mike here, and thank you for joining me on another episode in the PowerShell show. So, my last episode, I talked about making parameters, and I brought something up about confirm impact. And I didn't go into too much detail in it, but I figured I should. Since I brought it up, this is a good time to do it. This is going to be an advanced topic, just so you guys know. This isn't going to be part of the beginner series, if you want to call it a series. And don't worry, I'm going to tag it as advanced, so you guys are able to see that in the title. So, confirm impact and supports should process. What does this mean? This essentially gives you a prompt. There are 4 levels of confirm impact. None, which I think some people don't uh, say that or mention that as a level, but I am just for the case because you might see it. I've seen it on TechNet myself. Um, Low, medium, high. So what do these all mean? Essentially, the confirm impact level is if you're doing something catastrophic, mind-blowing, changing the infrastructure, doing something crazy. Um, and this actually reminds me I need to put this in one of my scripts that I just created. So why are we talking about this today? Well, we're going to talk about this because, quite frankly, it's important, especially if you are creating tools. You're turning into a tool maker. You're creating these tools to push out to environments. Maybe you're creating these tools to push out to your help desk guys, and they're going to be, running your scripts that you created as commandlets. And you want to make sure that these scripts are safe. You want, or you're not that the scripts are safe, but that the environment is safe and that the script that you're running, they know what's happening and they know that it's a big deal because I'm sure all of us in PowerShell have run things before that, we maybe did an oopsie or something like that. And we weren't sure about it, and then we ran it and boom, we broke something, right? So confirm impact is important because we don't want people to be running things and them not realizing how catastrophic this may be. So and again, hopefully you'll have your help files, and people will be able to look at examples and they'll be able to kind of see what they're doing. But for now, we're going to talk about, how to put this into your script and how it's going to look. So this is one of my older scripts that I created. I'm not going to run through everything, but essentially what it's doing is it's getting an installed app. It's looking at the Win32 product, sim class or WMI object, whichever you prefer to call it. And then you are essentially calling this saying or wildcarding what kind of app you want, and you don't need to put asterisks or anything at the Microsoft part because I actually already have this in the script itself. So essentially what this is doing, it's calling an app, right? It's giving you everything that the app, it's giving you everything on the computer that has to do with this app, right? So this is going to bring in a lot of results. So let's just do CHRO, right? So everything in my local computer, and if you guys aren't sure about what this is an environment variable for your local host. So if you do localhost or environment or this environment variable or your host name, you're getting the same thing. So I'm going to run this, and this is going to take a minute. And here's our result. We have our computer name. My computer name is Win10 Code, and we have our app name. So everything that had CHRO in it populated here, right? So now, what if we are writing a script that could be changing something drastic? Or even for this, let's just say because my parameters have, I can call multiple computer names here because of my string here and how it's set up. What if I'm calling a whole bunch of computers, I'm querying a whole bunch of things, and it could possibly slow down the network? Maybe, right? So what if we want to make sure that people know what they're doing, and this could be a possible catastrophic script, right? So the first thing we're going to do in our commandlet binding, and in short, if you don't know what commandlet binding is, look it up. It pretty much specifies that your script is an advanced function at this point. So we're going to do a comma here, and we're going to do confirm impact equals high, right? This is saying that in your commandlet binding, you want your parameters to come out as high for your confirm impact. And also what we want to do is, this is just kind of a safety measure that I try to do because this is going to hit the entire script. I want to set up my confirm preference variable. By default, confirm preference is set to high, but we're going to set it anyways because we can set it as low, we can set it as medium, but right now, right, we could set it as medium, but right now we're just going to set it as high, just in case. This is important because I've seen a few times, not too many, but some people can change the confirm preference variable to something else other than high. So let's just make sure we specify this, right? So now we're going to go into our try block, and within our try block, we're going to do an if statement. And this if statement is going to call the PS commandlet variable, right? And this is essentially calling, and what we're going to do with this is we can call a whole bunch of things with PS commandlet, but what we're going to do right now is we're going to call our should process, right? And we're getting this from here, support should process, right? So within here, we're going to call this, and we are going to specify our confirm preference variable, right? We are going to specify that we want to call confirm preference equals high for our confirm impact level, right? And then we're going to enclose our if statement into this script block here, right? And we are going to PS commandlet if, right? Oh, what do we have here? We got something. Oh, I know what we got. Let's close this up here. Oh, why aren't we typing? There we go. We got to close this up, right? Because we have one parenthesis here, and then we got to close our confirm preference, right? So again, at the end of the script block, at the end of the if statement, I want to make sure that I put a little comment here. This is the closing of the PS commandlet if, right? So now we have these three things in place. We're going to run the same thing. Now keep in mind, we don't have to use confirm, right? This is going to be annoying, right? Because we got to make people type this in. No, we don't want to have to do that, right? We just want to make sure it automatically does it. We want to make sure that there's no question about it. People are going to know the confirm impact is high, and it could be crucial, right? So we're going to hit F5 here. And now we're going to get this confirm. Are you sure you want to perform this action? Now, do we want to perform it? Do we want to perform it for all? Do we want to do no and then let it go through and pick the different things that it's doing and then it'll keep prompting us? Or do we just want to do no to all, or do we want to completely suspend? So what we're going to do is we're going to do yes to all, and this is going to run, and then we're going to get our output here, right? So as you can see, it's the same output that we had before, right? However, we're making sure that we're letting people know, hey, you need to confirm this. Are you sure you want to perform this action? Are you positive you want to perform this action, right? So we're performing the operation get installed app on target high, right? So now let's say we want to say we want to specify this a little bit more, right? So we want to change this to computer name, right? So we want to specify this to our computer name, right? We're going to change the PS commandlet should process member, and we're going to change it to the computer name. Now let's run this again, right? So now we get even a little bit better. We get a little bit more in depth here. Performing the operation get installed app on target Win10 code. Are we sure we want to do this? We click yes again, A for yes to all, and then we have our output here, right? So again, I truly believe this is an important part of our scripts, I need to start putting this in more to actually my scripts. I'm going to be pushing out, I'm going to be turning some scripts and some functions into modules shortly for some of my guys on my team, so they can, use the scripts and use them as commandlets. And I need to add some of these things in because I need to let them know that this could be a possible catastrophic thing, right? And of course I'm going to explain it to them and I'm going to let them know, hey, this is what this doing, this is what this is doing, we're going to do a code review, we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of it all. But if you're going to be, let's say, pushing code up to GitHub, or you're going to be, creating modules for people to use, you want to make sure that, not in the sense of covering your own butt, because, GitHub's, what's up there is what's up there. If you don't read it, then that's your problem, right? If you don't read what's going on, and that's not, your fault, it's the person's fault. But we still want to make sure that, they're all right. And we want to make sure that when we're publishing these things to people, that they know what's going on and they know that, this could be a possible huge issue. You could break stuff, and maybe not so much in a script like this because it's just kind of calling, different installed apps and stuff that you're specifying or that you're wildcarding. But let's say you're creating a function for AD to delete a whole bunch of objects that, let's say for instance you're deleting a whole bunch of computers in AD that haven't been turned on in 90 days. Now, this is a pretty catastrophic thing. It could be a pretty big deal in the environment, right? It's not just deleting one or two computers. It could be hundreds of computers depending on how large your environment is. So we want to make sure that we're prepping people with, the most we possibly can. Help files, comments, I try to comment as much as possible, and this could seem a little overboard to you guys, but this is just my thing, and this is just how I do it. I try to prep people as much as possible. I try to do a try and a catch. I try to do some error handling in here. I try to make people's lives easier, right? Because this is what we're doing. At the end of the day, our scripting, our code, what we're doing is we're automating processes and we're making our lives easier and we're making other lives easier. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me. I appreciate it. And I'm thinking that the next episode in the advanced series is going to be about help files. It's pretty important, and it's pretty cool the way I'm going to do it. To give you guys a heads up of what I'm going to be using, I'm going to be using PlatyPS, and you can find this in GitHub. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it, and take care.